Hi, aloha, yaloha. It's a funny old week. I feel like I've been on a roller coaster of sorts. And again, I am so professional at this. I don't feel like I can hear myself properly. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Testing, testing. All right, I can hear myself enough. I'll just keep going. Do we have to hear ourselves? Do we need to hear ourselves in order for it to be real? What's that old philosophy saying? If a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, what about all the birds and the insects and the critters and the creatures? Surely they're there to hear the sound. What's the sound of one hand clapping? I can still hear that. That's a sound. What am I doing? What am I doing here? Why am I here? Why do I have this compulsion to keep turning up here? And when I said it's been a funny old week, it's this contraction, expansion, and it's just, I don't know, when it happens is it too fast or too much, it can actually be painful. I had a contraction on Sunday, like very inward. I went so in, but I've realized actually, and also talking to a few friends, that I'm not the only one, so this could be a collective thing. And I had a whole lot of fears of survival come up. Like, can I make it? Can I keep turning up every day? What happens if I can't bear to go out into the world? What if I can't? What if one day the world ends? What if I die? What if? And I think it might be a Ben Harper song, I think. I'm not afraid of dying, I'm afraid to live. Sometimes the fear is not so much the fear of dying, it's the fear of living to our fullest capacity. Or is it a fear of not living to our fullest capacity? Because I found in this, especially in this little chapter, I mean, when I look back at life, I feel like I've had 5 lifetimes almost that are almost completely different. They're so different. So when I was living one certain way, and then boom, suddenly another, and then boom, suddenly another, and I'm like, what is that? What is that? Am I me? Am I the same person I was when I was a child? And I kind of feel like, to a certain extent, yes. It at a very core being self, something right on the inside, yes. But as a lot of other things go, no. Like, I've grown a lot since then. There's foundational things that I've kept, but there's been foundational things that I haven't kept, and I frowned like that because I've realized there's things that I was taught and things that I grew up with and beliefs of the world and how it is that have been shattered, like literally shattered, to a point where I can't see the world like I used to at all. I can't be buffered or protected. I don't think it's protected, that's the wrong word, by the illusion that is covering a lot of the real reality. But I recognize that at one point I I didn't see all the way through the illusion, even though, if I was to be honest, I think I always did, and I think everyone always did. And I think there's something in this about, it's very similar to the story of the Emperor's new clothes, where, I don't know if you know the story, I will briefly summarize it, that there was an emperor, and the emperor wanted new clothes, and he heard about this, what are they called? Seamstress, or a tailor, because I think it was a male in the original story, who sewed the most beautiful clothes out of golden thread. And he called the tailor to his court and said, "You make me the most beautiful clothes that have ever been, so that people might admire me and love me more so," or something like that. So the tailor said, "All right, well, I will need golden thread, I will need money, I will need jewels, I will need lots of material, I will need everything, just gimme, gimme, gimme." And then he went off and to sew and create and tailor the most beautiful clothes anyone had ever seen, so the emperor could be admired. And he took so long, and he kept going, and the emperor kept sending his servants off to check on the tailor, and they'd see him in his sewing room tailoring away. And then one day he came to the palace and said, "The clothes are done." And he presented a box that was empty. And at first the emperor was about to say, "Where are my clothes?" But the tailor said, "Right, I must explain that these clothes are made of the finest threads that are so fine they're invisible to anyone who is not of the highest caliber of person. Anyone who can't see them is a mere peasant who doesn't deserve to live." I think I might be making some of this up, but it's kind of like that. And of course the emperor, he was about to say something. He said, well, of course I can see it. "Oh, they're beautiful, the finest clothes I've ever seen." And everyone around, and the emperor said, "Is everybody in this court of the caliber to see the clothes?" And everybody, of course, said, yes, we see them, they're awesome, they're amazing." And the tailor said, "Let me dress you with them." "Let's take off your other clothes." So he was stripped down to his underwear. Lucky, I don't think the tailor made underwear to match the outfit, so at least he had his underwear on. So he then adorned the emperor with the invisible clothes, because really they weren't even there. Like, the tailor was an actual trickster, and he just went, "Right, I'm going to take all this money and all these fine threads and gold and silks and everything, and I'm going to vamoose after my little trick." So then the emperor said, "Right, we must have a parade to show off my finest clothes, and everybody will love me." And meanwhile, while they're having the parade anyway, the tailor does take all his stuff, all his money, and off he goes. He runs away very far, because at some point he might get caught out. And so everyone has been told, "Ooh, make sure you say you can see the clothes, because otherwise you're a lowly peasant. Only the people of the highest caliber can see these clothes. So just say you can see them. Don't get in trouble." So down he goes, parading in his underwear, and he's putting his arms up, and he's showing everybody his fine clothes, and everybody is applauding and cheering. And then a little boy goes, "But he's not wearing anything." "He's got nothing on, just his knickers." And the whole crowd just goes quiet, because they can't see anything but the emperor in his knickers too. Okay, that is the general gist of the storyline. I may have adjusted it somewhat, because I haven't actually heard or read it for, I don't know, probably a few decades. But that is basically it. And that is where I think we are in the world, is there's a lot of people walking around in their knickers, and we're meant to believe that they're wearing the finest clothes, and if we say something, we are lowly and non-deserving. And that is the problem. There is all these people walking around in their knickers. We need to point it out. We all need to be that little boy who says, but he's not wearing anything. Can we start doing that? Because there's so much going on in our world that is like that, and we're all just not speaking up. Although, no, there are people, there's a lot of really good, brave, courageous people who are speaking up. But you know what? We need everyone to. And it does come down to just be brave and know in your true core self that you deserve better, and you don't deserve to be caught up in a debacle of lies and illusion and delusions. We're all here to have our greatest life experience, and that is everyone, not just the emperors walking around in their knickers, but everyone, not just the royals, not just the politicians and the elites. They can still have a wonderful life, but just don't hurt. Stop hurting people. Stop hurting people. Stop being greedy. Stop being power hungry. And what you're actually saying is that you are in fear, and you are so in fear you need to control everyone else. But you're actually walking around in your knickers, and we are all about to call out like a little boy and say, this is the truth. We see the truth. We see through the illusions. This is where we're at. And I know if you're here, you know it. And I know everyone's been afraid of being the one to poke their head up, because there was a time when everyone was in fear. So the people who did poke their head up over the trenches got it shot off, or worse. Or worse. If you think there could be worse, there has been. So this is it. There's so many of us, and I think I've told the Fonzie story. I like telling stories as analogies and metaphors, and I have a couple of other ones that have really helped me through life and helped me through the times that life hasn't made sense, when I've seen things but I'm in fear. And I feel like I'm getting past that now. But it doesn't matter, because the universe keeps telling me to turn up, and I can't deny it. I literally am compelled to sit here and just open my mouth. Like, I didn't know what I was going to say earlier. I had no idea. I'm staying true to that. I think in the beginning, when I started doing this, I don't know, maybe it's over a month ago now. So I am a wriggle bum. So I did sort of write stuff down, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can be professional. Let me see if I can copy paste the formula that I've seen everyone doing, because that seems to be the way it is. And I kind of started that way, but it didn't feel right for me. And I went, I think you just have to be you, Care. I think you just have to be yourself. And then I've been getting more and more messages in, because I've been open to it. So I've been seeking this. And as I've been seeking this, it has been seeking me. It's like magnetic. And that's the same for all of us. You can do the same. But I think I know that all of us are meant to pull into our authenticity. I know that word is overused a bit, but into our true self. And as we do that without apology, without trying, just allowing, and whatever it is we're called to do, to say, again, that little clause that I'll always put in, as long as you're doing no harm to anyone, including yourself or animals, the earth, the plants. Let's stop chopping all the trees down. Please, they are our air, our oxygen, our lifeblood. If we don't have them, we're going to die. And zero carbon means no plant life, because that's how they survive. Do we realize that? That's another Emperor's New Clothes. Can we call that one out? We can't have zero carbon. Although I think we should potentially stop all the billowing factories that have all sorts going out into the atmosphere. I think we could stop putting junk and stuff and rubbish and pollution in our oceans and rivers and waterways, because hello, where do we get our water from? Yeah, when it rains, it's so precipitation, right? Doesn't it suck up from the earth, and then it's a cycle and it comes back down. So if we just keep contaminating everything, like, that is it, we're just drinking it. And there's a lot of people unwell because we're not living the way we're meant to. But we can, and it does take us seeing through the illusions, choosing ourselves and all others, and shifting this big Titanic or ocean liner, because we might not be able to do it just like that, or potentially we could. I don't know. I think things can change really quick at times. I feel like this one, because it's been going on for eons, maybe like an ocean liner turning slowly. And I think we've already started turning. No, I know we've already started turning already, because I think we decided on this turn quite a while ago. And as I am finding, though, there is a lag between when you choose something and you decide, I don't want that anymore, and you actually take the time to choose what you do want. There is a time lag, because the universe has to line up a lot of stuff in order for that to come together at times. That's definitely part of it. And also, the lag is important, because sometimes if we choose in a reactionary way, like a knee-jerk reaction, we can choose things that are really not good for us, or more so, like, we might be cursing other people or places, things, and we just can't do that. So we need a lag in order to, if you do lose your head over something with someone or whatever it is, you don't end up knee-jerk reacting and saying, I wish they were not here anymore, and then suddenly they're not here. Because if that was the way it was, can you imagine on this planet the mayhem and chaos if we didn't have that all-important time lag between the seed of thought and the creation of thought? Okay, that looks like I've hit my 20 minutes. I'm not really going over that. I did start with like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and I'm creeping up there. But I'm going to keep turning up because the universe is making me do so. And you know what? I'm learning a lot from just sitting here talking, and basically I'm like talking with myself. And that's funny, because it reminds me that we are all each other and we are all the universe. We are not a drop in the universe. We are not a fragment in the universe. We are the universe in a fragment. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go 22:22 on the clock as my eyes looked up. That's got to be a sign for me. I will look that up. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a beautiful morning, arvo, evening. I hope you enjoyed today's ramble. I'm sending much love, and I will pop back in to Mars.